All right, Chris, you were telling us about your history with chiropractic care and what initially brought you in for chiropractic care. So you mind sharing that with our
Sure.
viewers?
It all started, I was probably 19 or 20, and I was just in the shop changing the oil in my truck. And as I got set up, I was reaching down in one of the bags to go grab an oil filter. And as I kneeled down, I couldn't get back up. It's something slipped in my back, and it just was pain like I never had before. It was through my legs, on the outside of my legs, and I couldn't stand up. I couldn't walk. And I just kind of, I was like, man, maybe I tore a ligament, or, got a pulled muscle or something. I really didn't know what
Brand new
happened.
experience for you.
Right. I mean, I had pain before, but, nothing like this where it was really crippling. And I was home alone. There was no one there. There was no one at the house, which was a little ways away. All I could do, I didn't have a phone at the time. All I could do was just get a shovel and use that as a prop to crawl from the shop to the house. And it took about an hour, maybe hour and a half, to get there, and just a little at a time, as much as I could do. Get to the house, called a buddy of mine who was, into sports and working out, and he was like, maybe you tore a muscle, maybe you tore a ligament. You can try some stretches, maybe just at least get you by, to get you going. You should be all right. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't stretch. I couldn't twist. All I could do was sit sideways, kind of like this.
And you didn't
and that was
lift
enough.
anything heavy or anything. You
No.
just had a little bag of oil filters and stuff.
That's right. I just happened to reach down to go grab something. I guess I reached the wrong way, and boom, it just happened. And and the only way I could have a little bit of relief was just to kind of stay in a crippled position like this, to the side. So anyway, that night, let me back up a little bit. Later on that day, it just got worse and worse. So we ended up going to he ended up taking me to the hospital and did an x-ray, and I just got some pain meds. Went back to the house, I took some, went to sleep, barely, and made it through that day to the next day. Nothing really got better. It just hurt. I could barely move, and I was pretty much bedridden the next day. The following day, I could get up and I could move a little bit, but I still had to be leaned over to one side. So that's when I called you. This was a long time ago, and came in, got an x-ray, and you gave me my first adjustment. And after that first adjustment, it was like 75% gone. I mean, to the point where I could breathe, I could take a deep breath, I could walk. It was amazing.
That's huge.
And I stayed with the care plan, stayed with everything, and it was like nothing had ever happened afterwards. And that was years ago. I mean, I was in high school then,
Right.
or just out of high school.
Out of high school.
And ever since then, just been coming for care. And I've had injuries, since then, but it's just that's what started me.
Right. So what's
getting here.
what's your chief reason for continuing with chiropractic care?
Just as taxing as the job that I have is, you do receive injuries and stuff here and there, even if you don't, just daily life, in general. I mean, it keeps you from, or kept me from having to have any kind of surgeries. Kept me pain free.
Do you think you were headed in that direction that day when you were 19?
I don't know what direction I was heading in, but I definitely would say it would be something like that later on in life if I had not gone this way, this route with it.
And that would be a common thing.
Right.
And you think about the opioid addiction these days, and luckily that's something you've been able to avoid.
Exactly. I don't have to.
So, and a lot of what you do is maintaining. We maintain our houses, we maintain our yards, we maintain our cars, but oftentimes maintaining your health and your body is overlooked.
That's right.
But not by you.
Well, I'll try not to. You keep me in shape, so.
Right. Well, listen, I really appreciate you sharing your story. So if something about this sounds familiar, and if you're wondering if chiropractic care may help you and benefit you and your health, give our office a call at 803-943-3748. And Chris, I really appreciate you sharing your story.
Thank you.
All right.